the left. There we go. We can start to see the folks. Are you able to see me clear in this one?
Hang on. Yeah, you look good there.
Looks like we have folks in there, so we'll give everyone a few minutes to get in here. All right. All right, so that should post to YouTube. We're probably going to have a good number of people in here today, hopefully, because we got some exciting things to talk about.
Sure.
Awesome. Are you able to see that comment also?
Yeah, hello everyone.
Okay, you can. Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
looks like
it's running
we have
behind.
9 people in, so if you're in the stream, can you comment that you're able to hear us and see us, obviously, as well?
Yep. Sound check.
I'm going to lower my volume a little bit.
Hello, Roy. Do we sound okay, Roy? Sounds good?
Yep. Hey, Roy. I just love his kangaroo, man. It's awesome. How's the sound and the video? It should be clear. And then Scott's going to do a little bit later.
Lead pipe.
Oh, Max. Oh, my God. Are you trying to jump me, Max, already? Come on now. The toxic meter is low.
Robert's in the house.
Yes. Yes, I think it's going to be, I think people are still getting the notification right now.
Okay.
Looks like I just got the notification right now. So, okay, sounds great. Perfect. All right. Yeah, we'll get underway in a second. Who is that? Is that... Okay. Yeah, we've got a lot of stories today. Oh, yeah, the billionaire photographer. I know a lot of clones have actually been reborn here, Max, from the Fuji days of trolling channels and creating havoc. So Max has been with me a very long time, and he is an actual survivor, not a cancer survivor, not any other kind of survivor, but he's survived the abuse of YouTube. In the last 8 years, and he's been through it 3 times now. We've gone through this when it was with the Sony stuff, then it was Fuji. Now it's other brands actually doing the same thing. So it's sad, but looks like we just can't seem to get rid of it. But we're going to talk briefly about that because we've got some good updates on that. And James, I think you had some words that you wanted to share as well. We'll get to all of that in a second. Looks like people are starting to get in here. Okay, let me just see and make sure that all of this is streaming out there. Hope you guys are having a good Tuesday because we have a lot of things lined up for you guys for today. And Scott Sessions will join us around 8:45 to 9 p.m. Eastern. He's actually on his way back home. He didn't want to do it in the car, so he'll get in here and then we'll talk briefly about his stuff. Or maybe we'll talk about his stuff and maybe have him come and share his stories at the dam and the different things that we have actually done together. Okay, looks good. All right, I think we should get started in a second. I'm having a... Yes. He's funny. Wednesday already. That's great. Yes, Roy, that does count.
But Roy, do you like that Vegemite stuff?
Vegemite. Is that stuff that you actually eat?
It's like a condiment, like a spread.
Yeah. I've seen it, but I've never had it.
Me neither. They don't sell it up here.
You'll probably comment in a second. All right, so we'll get underway now. Okay, so we're going to try to make this one a little interactive and make it kind of fun, and share some actual videos with you, share some things with you that will get the excitement rolling as to what is Conowingo? What is it like? What is it like to be there? What is it like to get there when you first get there and the excitement? I got there right around the time of um, Vegemite is an acquired taste. I got there right after sunrise. James, I think you and Scott were there as the sun was rising, and I think you even posted a video on your Facebook of the sunrise, and it was a beautiful morning. It was so cold, but it was just beautiful to drive in there. It was breathtaking. All right,
25 degrees.
Yes, yes, and with the light breeze, so it made it feel much colder. Let me see if I can actually share the window. All right, and if I share this guy. So we'll start off with going to the Conowingo Dam, but before we get there, let me go ahead and actually introduce who I have with me here. So I have James Roddy here from JRODPhotoArt. That's his channel, and this stream is actually being streamed on his channel at the same time right now. So if you are his subscriber, you don't need to come to my channel to watch it. You can just literally watch it from his channel as well. What are we doing together? We actually found each other through all this toxic things that are going on with the community. We were able to find each other, and we have connected on a very different level, not just photography, and we've actually become very good friends. So we've been to the dam twice now in about a month, and we had an absolute blast both times. But this time the activity was up, and initially we were kind of discouraged for the first 2-3 hours because it was cold as heck, but very little activity. So we were shooting goals, and honestly, if you practice shooting goals when the eagles come out, you're actually kind of ready because it's like, practice rounds. Those goals are not easy to shoot.
They're fast.
When they're diving, yeah, really quick. The eagle is much easier, much bigger bird. Nonetheless, I don't want to take anything away from himself. I'd rather have James actually introduce himself, talk a little bit about sort of his journey into photography, and how long he's been doing this. And his passion. He's got a passion for ripping cameras apart on his channel. And he found Sony inside an old Nikon camera, so that should tell you something. I'm just kidding. That's just a joke, guys. Don't get all pissy. Okay. One more thing. Hey, look who's here. Hey, Timid, you going with us to Conowingo next time? J-Rod's going to swing by. He's going to put you in the car, and you're going to take portraits of us. And no, not like the models that you did all that other stuff with. But I'm not going to wear a bikini or anything for you, but you're going to take pictures of us. Is that a deal?
Water there. Yeah, no swimsuits.
Probably need like a cold suit, man. One of those diving suits. That water's got to be cold. Yep. But nonetheless, let me turn it over to James from JRODPhotoArt. So James, if you can actually introduce yourself, your channel, what you're looking to do. I know you have some big aspirations, hopefully going into 2023 for your channel. And we continue to grow this partnership, and not only that, this friendship. And Timid, you're welcome to join because we're all part of the Washington, D.C. area. Maybe we can start an alliance on the East Coast, and maybe have some of our other friends on the West Coast, Wahagan, whoever wants to join on the West Coast. We can have a coast-to-coast, alliance of going out there and shooting together. So go for it.
Yeah, I'm James. On YouTube, I'm JRODPhotoArt, and also on Instagram and Flickr. I'm just a long-time photographer kind of guy. I'm, fully employed. I've never made really a dime from photography. It's a passion. It's a hobby. It's an art for me. It's an escape. This past couple years, I've, now that I can afford a couple new lenses, I've been really enjoying getting outside and doing wildlife photography, specifically birds in action. It's probably one of the hardest things you can do with photography. And, it's just amazing. So, in this past, year and a half or so, James needs a mic real quick. Am I not sounding good? I got a mic here. Hey, Mike, thanks for the heads up.
I can actually hear him. Does he not sound right?
Is it breaking up? Technical check here.
Hey, Jeff and Leslie. Can you guys hear us? Okay.
Roy said it sounds good. Robert said it sounds good. Oh, maybe I hear him just fine. Hello, Vic. Hello, Mike. T Mid. Okay. Charles Davis.
Mike, man, you need to up your internet speed, man. It's free this week. Nah, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. Mike's a good guy, man. All right, sounds fine.
Yeah.
Okay, go for it, James. Sorry.
Yeah. So anyway, picking up J-Rod sounds a little thin. Okay. Maybe I can get a little closer here. But yeah, this past couple years moved on to getting my first full featured, top of the line camera with all the bells and whistles. That would be a Z9, of course. And now
Nice.
I think I've got the tools to actually get the job done because birds in flight, it takes a lot to get that going. You've got to have a fast camera.
Yeah.
But this past couple years, we've been going to this place called Conowingo Dam. It's up on the Susquehanna River in Darlington, Maryland. The dam was built just before the turn of the century, so it's over 100 years old. It's a hydroelectric.
And your dad used to do something there, right?
Yeah, he used to teach some courses there and some training. Yep.
Awesome.
But it's become this spot has become an East Coast haven for bald eagles that come down from Pennsylvania and further north. The dam kicks up the water and the fish come through kind of confused, so they're kind of floating at the top. So it's an instant meal for all the cormorants, the gulls, and specifically the bald eagles love to go there and nest and mate. In springtime, there's babies, but I read somewhere it's the largest concentration of bald eagles east of the Mississippi.
East of the Mississippi, that
during
is
this time frame. So it's,
yeah.
You see, luckily bald eagles are getting to be everywhere, but yet you go here. I've gone there almost every month of the year, and I've never not seen an eagle or not gotten a picture. But for some reason this year, the activity has increased tremendously.
Mm-hmm.
So I usually go on a Friday. So the Friday we went, I got there about 6:35. The parking lot was almost full. I've never seen it that full at 6:30.
And I'm going to show you a video of that.
Right.
So we're not lying. We're not making stuff up. You'll see it's like jammed all the way to the end.
Yep.
Hey, Young Rider, what's happening, man? Hey, he made a video, Nikon Pi.
All right.
That video is epic. He actually sang a song and he made his own song. So James, remind me. And Long Rider, can you put a link up here in the chat window so everyone can actually, listen to that song on your channel? Did you bring the lead pipe?
Come on. You're not allowed to smash eagles.
Not allowed to smash eagles. That's rightly said. Max, you better behave, man. You can smash me all you want, but don't smash that eagle.
That's right.
So James, I think our partnership. It's hilarious. Our whole thing about just going out and photographing and just having fun. I mean, I don't even know where time goes by. It was just hilarious, right? We got there at around 6:37 in the morning.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden we looked at the clock. It was 1 o'clock. It's like, holy smokes. I can't even feel my legs, but what happened to that time? It just went by. What was, why don't we actually show them the video from the parking lot?
Yes.
And then we can actually get into, once we're in the dam, then we can start talking about the different things we did. Yep. You guys good? Ready for watching the video? Let me go ahead and share my screen.
Popcorn time.
All right. Give me 1 sec. There we go. Are you able to see this?
Yeah, I can see it.
I'm not sure if the audio will come through. I haven't tried this before. I just actually, airdropped it, but you can actually get an idea. I just popped it on top of my dash. This is on the iPhone 14 in the cinematic mode. So if you don't like it, no, it's not 422, 420, none of those color grading, all of that. It's just right out of the iPhone to my iMac. I didn't do anything to it. There you go. Hey, look at that, with the sound.
This is our final descent into Conowingo Dam, Fisherman's Park.
Yep. So the dam is literally in the middle of nowhere. There's no 7-Eleven for miles.
I don't understand how many people really come here.
You have to pack in.
How much money they spend on their camera gear. It is insane. Absolutely insane. So, a couple more bends here, and then
I
we
think
should
this
be
is an old service road, actually.
the Fisherman's Park area.
There used to be a train that came through there, but the train is since gone when they built the dam.
There we go.
See this.
That looks like Blair Witch Project.
Well, looks like they might have opened up the dam. Looks like the parking is jammed all the way to the end here.
It's the Susquehanna River.
Full. It's pretty full today.
The entire lot is full, guys, all the way to the other end.
And it's a long lot. Maybe, what, 100 cars? 150 cars?
Yeah, probably, at least.
Our parking spot is full.
And keep in mind, this is at 7 in the morning.
Yep.
And we're not even there yet. All right.
And then we're going to see James pop up here, and then we're going to unload the gear.
Yep.
All right, there he is.
Yeah, that's me right there with the funny hat. I'm the guy.
There he is. There he is.
Hey, I was not cold.
All right. So wanted to share that with you guys because it's very important to know like what it's like to go there. It's like the first time I went there, I didn't even know what was going on because the vultures were actually all over the car. So I didn't even know whether I want to park there anymore because they will damage your car. And it says a sign there that they're not responsible if they damage your car. So if you drive a really nice car, you got a problem. If that happens. Lately, we haven't seen them doing that, right? Last 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, there hasn't been very many, but typically they hang out by the gate. And if you're the only one there, never park by the gate. Go all the way down by the dam.
Yeah.
I've had to scare them off of cars because they will grab every single thing they can get off of your car. The rubber, the seals, the wiper blades. It'll be gone.
Yeah, so he actually asked the question, did you drive the Mercedes or the Civic? Every time I go to the dam, I drive the Civic.
Good gas mileage.
Good question. That's great. What did he say? What did Roy say? Mercedes makes tough cars. Not tough enough for those vultures, man. Those guys are brutal. He said, I'm going to bring my Lambo to scare the birds away. Mike, you crazy. No noise pollution. Haven't you been watching Elon Musk, what he's doing, right? You know? Get an electric car, Mike. No, with all joking aside, that's sort of how we got there. So, you know, I know we have a lot of stories and we have pictures to actually share. So we're going to try to limit the pictures that we share with you. Otherwise, we'll probably be here for like 5 hours, which we don't want to do. We want you guys to actually walk away with what we did, why we did what we did, and what we saw. Because there is a message to this live stream. And that is, you know, we saw one very big thing that if you didn't watch our live stream on Friday that we did together for both channels, I encourage you to watch it because that's real live people on the ground shooting with all of their camera gear. And in that, James, what would you say? How many DX cameras did you see there compared to full frame?
It had to be 50-50. No, I mean, easily.
Yeah.
I mean, every make and model of camera. I mean, even that one guy had an older, a D3400 older camera. I mean, it didn't matter. People had any type of kit lens, anything. It was every variety.
So a buddy of ours, many of you have seen actually in the chat windows in the past. His name is Bass Angler. He actually sent me a message. No joke. I'm not kidding. I'll show it to you. Here. He wrote this, right? And I'm going to read it to you. He sent it tonight. He's going to be here a little bit late, but I want to read this to you. It says, guys, I just remember how excited a woman, I believe, was in a Mars video from Conowingo with the little D3400.
Yep.
That's a Nikon DX camera. Yes, it does matter, by the way. I remember those days shooting the D3300, a cheap 55-300. How excited I was when I got blurry eagle shots. If we lose that, it's time to sell our gear. Nothing wrong with wanting better equipment, but the drive to capture an image is what it's all about. I'm not saying you guys are doing that, but I find myself occasionally. Hold on, let me make it a little bigger. I'm getting old now. I find myself occasionally getting frustrated because I missed the bird's eye by 3 inches, and I made myself stop that. And now I start enjoying it again, and my keeper rate went up when I quit trying to be that Nat Geo photographer. This is coming from someone that has dedicated his life, just like many of you, like Flint Locke, if he's on today, Long Rider, you're here. You guys actually go out there every single day and shoot hundreds and hundreds of shots. You are not going to get good at this type of photography just buying expensive gear and just staring at it. You have to go and practice and make the mistakes out there in the cold, in the brutal. It was so cold, it was not even funny. So I'll let you speak to that. Based on the hunting gear that you were wearing, I need to go with you to hunting gear shopping because you were apparently really warm. I was still layered like crazy, but I was actually cold.
Yeah.
What do you want to share with these people, like when you're out there in this cold, just to get the 3 shots you're going to share with us? I know you got thousands of them, so did I, but we're going to share like 3 shots, 4 shots each, and to just get those 3 or 4 that you can actually feel good about. What did you go through, weather-wise and all of the other things?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm over an hour away, so I get up very early, drive and get some coffee. I pack up everything the night before, so I'm up and out. I do a little bit of hunting with some other friends of mine that hunt, and so I have all this gear. You layer up in layers with wicking gear and all these things, and very good warm boots. So I had that. So 25 degrees was no problem for me. I actually got hot by 10 o'clock. I had to take off one of my parkas. But yeah, it's an adventure. It's a place where you can go and be outside. And I remember when I first went there several years ago, I would take pictures of every eagle I saw, no matter where it was in the sky, no matter how far away it was. Because since when do you get to take pictures of eagles? I mean,
right.
I was driving to the other day, and there was an eagle on the side of the road. I mean, most of the times I would have pulled over to go get that shot. But it's just really fun to do, to go see these beautiful birds of prey. It's our bird, the United States bird.
It is our national bird. That's right.
I mean, to go there and be with the birds. I mean, you can see it happening, and it's built such a community of people.
Sure.
Conowingo Dam Eagles on Facebook. I mean, you will see pictures and reports, and it's to share and see what people do. There was a guy there. I think you got on video. He actually built this mechanical rig that he sits in.
Yep.
He has a weighted arm for the camera and the lens. I mean, this guy was hardcore.
And he uses the scope from the gun. So Long Rider, you're going to love this.
Yeah.
He uses the scope from the gun on top of the viewfinder. It's set up perfectly with the parallax thing, this special scope. Yeah. So all he does is looks into that, points, and shoots. He doesn't even look inside the EVF or anything, and he nails it every time. I'm like, how the heck did you do that? So last time when I was there, this is like last year when I was there, he actually had me sit in that chair and spin around and do this.
Yeah,
it's incredible what he has built, and I would love for him to someday sell it, to some company that can mass produce that. Because to do that and be able to have a full range motion like this, you can't do that with a gimbal. You would have to pick up your whole tripod and move it.
Yeah.
There's no way to do it. So it was pretty awesome.
Yeah. So it's amazing to go there just to see them, and like I said, I've been there many times, almost every month of the year, and I've seen at least one eagle, and almost every time I got a halfway decent picture. The lighting's got to be there, the timing, it's luck, it's chance, it's cold sometimes, but it's just a mind soothing adventure, I would call it, just to be out there to do that kind of thing. It's really nice.
Right. So I know Jeff and Leslie have been talking about driving through a blizzard to get to Davenport, Iowa. Yeah, it's not fun, but I'm telling you right now, Jeff, I haven't seen the shots from that. So Jeff and Leslie, if you guys don't know who they are, hey Arthur, Arthur is here from Flintlock. Arthur, I have one of your pictures that I'll probably show towards the end, but just hang tight. There is one that's really good. I want people to be able to see it. Out there where you're going out there and doing what you're doing, but more than that, Jeff and Leslie actually posted a video about our deer population. Our deer population, even here in the Northeast, is actually impacted by this. If you haven't watched that video, head over to their channel after this live stream and please watch it, because that video is it moved me very much emotionally, and it's got me even that much more connected to their channel. Their channel might not be massive, but it has a lot of content, and they actually bring wildlife to your screen. That's sort of what I heard him say in one of the videos. And to me, that's a very profound statement, because most people don't want to get off their couch, get cold, and do all of this stuff to go and enjoy wildlife. One thing I'll share with you, I mean, James, you brought your little binoculars. I don't know what brand they were, what they were. But to have a really nice pair of binoculars, sometimes you don't even want to take a picture of that eagle.
Right.
You just want to watch the eagle do its thing. And it's almost like an IMAX movie, man. Watching it in almost 3D like that, that's breathtaking, man. And I'm glad I was able to experience it. And now you got me going, man. Maybe I'll buy a Nikon, binocular. I thought that they're rated pretty high. I don't know if you've tried them.
They are. They're really good sport optics.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. All right, I know. Okay, so what is Flint Rock? This is Arthur. I know it's hard to get a good eagle shot. It is. But at Conowingo, it becomes kind of easier, but you have to invest in the glass or have long enough glass to be able to really enjoy it, because it's not like they're going to come within 2 feet of you. Once in a while, they'll fly over, but a lot of the times they're flying in within the river. So it is. It's all depends on your positioning. So when you see some of Scott's images, Scott actually went all the way down the rocks, all the way to the water.
Right.
And he sat there the whole day, man. He was there till 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. He didn't even budge from it. He got some good ones. Yeah.
We'll talk more here.
Yeah. We're going to talk about that in a second. Yeah, good one. Yeah. What do you want to actually show them? I want to show them this. This is towards the end of it, but I want you to see this because we were so freaking done. It was so cold. Let me see if you guys can see this. Can you guys see this shot? It was cold, guys. It was so cold. We couldn't even feel our legs. We sat in the car, and that was us, man. It's like his old cheeks are all red.
And we lucked out. The wind. I mean, the last time we were there, it was very windy, but this time it was like less than 85 miles an hour wind, and it was just perfect. And I don't know what it was about that day, but you would see 5, 6, 7, 8 eagles all swirling around, and they would continuously fish, grab the fish, eat the fish, and keep going around. It was just amazing. And then it died down later, after right shortly after lunch. It was pretty much nothing. So
I talked to Scott, and at around 3 o'clock again, it kicked up again.
Okay.
Like I said, it's weird. Yeah.
You can go there and see one eagle sit in a tree for 8 hours and not even move, or you might get lucky and get some good flyovers. But hey, you saw an eagle, and it's just sitting there listening to the water and seeing the other birds. Yeah, if there's no eagles, practice on a gull or a cormorant or a pigeon.
Don't waste that time. Practice. But we did some other things that we'll talk about now also that you'll see here. Okay, so the local paper has contacted Art to maybe talk about some of his images. That's perfect. That's really awesome. That's exactly what we want. We want people to get recognized for the hard work that they're actually doing. So
a lot of flyovers. I mean, there's a lot of key things to getting those shots, right? It's chance, it's luck, it's lighting, it's the speed, it's tracking. Did you get your camera set right? Are you at the right shutter speed? It all adds up, and I'm learning every time I go. So it's so good.
Yeah. Okay, next thing. Let's show them. All right. Do you want to get into sort of the gear combo and just talk through it really quick because someone asked this and
Yeah,
let's talk through that for a second and get that out of the way, and then we can show them the video. Who actually asked about the gear? Oh, right here. Robert actually asked that question. All right. So do you want to share yours?
yeah.
What did
So
you use?
I started out with my Nikon Z9, and I have a Sigma 150 to 600 f6.3. I started out with that, but it didn't take long for me to switch over. I have a 100 to 400 Nikon, and I just got the 2X teleconverter. So pretty much everything I shot was at 800 f11. So that's rough, right? But
Yeah.
it was a very bright day. So I may have gotten a lot of bad shots, but there was a few that the timing in the picture and the lighting was right at 800 f11 on the Z9, and some of them turned out really well. So,
So
I was impressed.
he said something about 800 f11 on the Z9.
Yep,
Right? How much did that rig cost you?
it's not cheap. So the 100 to 400 is what, $2,700, and then it's another $600 for the 2X. So
Okay.
I know Canon's got it. That one lens, what, $900?
$899, 800 f11. And when you mount this onto the
Yep.
R7, so this is one of the combinations. So I was just taking advantage of that. It puts you at 1280 with no
Yep.
loss of aperture or anything, without a teleconverter.
Yep.
1280 f11.
Yep.
Is where you are.
Yep.
With this,
Yeah,
with
so I
this
was
gig.
2,500.
Yep. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Yeah.
No, yeah, I was 2,500, 3,200 shutter speed. You got to be up there for the Eagles.
Right.
Yep.
So when this lens first came out, I was probably one of the ones screaming at, well, F11, you crazy, this, that, and the other. I still bought it. And with the R6, I used to use it once in a while. With the EOS R, I used to use it once in a while. But when the R7 came out, I used it some. But when the version 2 of the update on the R7 came out, holy smokes, this combination for birds in flight became insane. And I'm actually going to show you 2 shots from this with birds in flight, because everyone told you can't shoot birds in flight with this lens. Not true. I'm going to show you some fast birds, kind of fast ones, not really slow ones, like I don't know, what's a slow bird? I don't think there's too many slow birds, are there? Maybe a heron's pretty slow because it takes its time flying through. Yeah. Yeah.
And I was shooting mainly, I always shoot auto ISO. So I just checked one of my pictures. It was up there about 3,200 ISO, which.
Yeah. I had mine capped at 1,600 and Art, it probably clipped 1,600 like twice with this 800 f11.
Big
on
bird
here.
is slow. Hey, Mike.
Yeah. So we had a good sunlight there. So that was pretty good. Okay, so that's one piece of the puzzle. The other one is the camera that I'm recording this on, which is a Sony A9 II with the 200 to 600. And if you did not watch the live stream last week, when we talked about the 200 to 600 on the Z9, which was James's Z9, I encourage you to go back and watch last week's live stream that we did. And he was on there, and we actually showed the shots from that. Yep. What I'm going to show you right now is an actual guy. Hey, Moots.
Yep, perfect timing.
D Moots, David, this is perfect timing, absolutely. What I'm about to show you, Moots, is your adapter that you actually sent us, and I really appreciate you doing that.
Yep.
On a person that had the Z9 with the 800 f5.6 lens, the older one. Pretty expensive rig, right? All set up. It was a nice rig that he had.
Yeah.
On a Gitzo tripod. I mean, that was a really expensive setup. And he was running these workshops with this other guy, right?
Yeah.
So when he saw us mount the 200 to 600 on someone else's Nikon, he wanted it actually on his to try it and take those pictures back. And what I want to do is I want to actually show you him using it on there, and he was okay with us actually filming him while he's actually using it.
Back on the
So
bait.
hey, back on the bait. I mean, I don't know what is your name, because I haven't seen you too much on the live stream before. But you're welcome. Thank you for joining. Let's see if I can get his video where he is
Got it
shooting
there?
away. Yeah, here he is. All right, you ready? Here's a video of him watching, and then we'll talk through it. Well, welcome, Mark. Yeah, thank you for joining. Watch this. There you go. You guys can see this?
Yeah.
It's amazing, huh?
It's lighter than the.
Yeah.
He's recording you, so you have to say it's amazing.
Well, we'll put it on our YouTube channel. You can follow us. I mean, this is real life stuff. I mean, it's not cooked up. He's not being paid. I'm not being paid to say anything about it.
No, I mean this is lighter than the 200 to 500, which you need the FTZ for that. But,
6.3 at 600. Yeah. Right.
hold on. Let me see that.
He was shocked when he looked at the pictures after we were done with this video. He was really, really stunned at how good those images looked, right? I mean, James, you were standing right there.
Yep.
I'll let you speak to it because I don't want him to think I'm making stuff up.
No, I've used it before. Thanks again, D-Moots. And Amar, you have that lens. So we used it last time we were there, and I shot it most of the day. And it was great. It was great to have that focal range, 200 to 600. I have the 150 to 600 Sigma, but it's heavier. It's just doesn't seem as fast. But the Sony lens, hands down, better than the 150 to 600. It's got that extra 100 millimeter. What ISO? A lot of mine were up to around 3,000, 3,200. I'm on auto ISO, flintlock. They want to see some pictures, Amar. Let's get some pictures.
Oh my God, they want to see pictures. Why do they want to see pictures? We don't shoot anything. We just talk about gear. I'm just kidding. No, we don't do that. We can talk about the pictures too. I'm building the story today because I want you to understand the journey that we went through, rather than just make stuff up. Because if you don't understand what it took to get those pictures, you will never value the picture.
Yep.
And that's what I wanted to do is set this up. And then we'll come back and talk about it a little bit more. James, why don't you go ahead and actually share what you would like to share? And then I'll share a couple of mine. And then hopefully Scott will join, and then we can just have a open session that we can just talk through for a short bit and then end the live stream.
Yep. Let's see if this works here. I hit share.
Uh-huh.
I'm new to this. Sorry, guys. So shouldn't that come up? It says
Are you
stop
sharing?
screen sharing.
Hold on.
There it goes.
Is this what you're sharing?
Yep, that's it.
All right, there you are. All right. There's the shots.
Flying high. There's your eagle. I love catching them in an interesting pose. So this is one of my favorites. And you can see that okay? Yep.
Yeah, we can.
There we go. Now this one was very interesting. So he was coming back through the trees, and wow, did I catch him through the branches. Let me see if I can zoom in. So this is with the Z9 100 to 400 with a 2X at f11. It got it right in there.
That's incredible, man.
I love it when that eye's looking right at that little glint in the eye. That's just awesome.
Yeah.
And let's do one more. Got 3 set up here. Look at this guy.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I love the pose.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you guys one thing. I know this is something that I noticed also on the A9 too. It's a stack sensor. Z9 is a stack sensor. You have rolling shutter happening on the wings right there, right now. Stack sensors are not going to get rid of it every single time. it's okay. It's no big deal. But the shot is just beautiful, right? So when I show you some of my shots, I don't know if I picked any that are like that, but even on the A9 II, it does that. The beauty of it is these machines can shoot such high frame rate. You can pick another frame too, but I really like the way this one actually looks. I mean, it looks beautiful, man. It looks incredible. Yeah. What was your you're at F11 here?
Yeah, 800 F11.
Yeah.
I can check the numbers here real quick. This one's ISO 5000.
There you go.
But I think all right, let's flip over to a couple of your pictures. But what I want to do, Omar, is I do have. I'm gonna pop this off.
Okay.
I do have an EVF video. I don't mind showing the whole thing. It's about 2.5 minutes.
We're gonna show them the EVF video.
Yeah.
And I wish we did the EVF video with the 200 to 600. I think that would have been good. But it was so cold. It was so cold. And I think you had just gotten this gadget to work, right?
Yeah, it's the little Axoon device. Let's see, this little guy.
Yep.
And you're able to put a phone on it and HDMI out, and you can record your EVF. It's at 1080p. You'll see it here in a minute. Should I show it?
Yeah, you can. Go ahead. And you can thank we thank Wahagan for that one because he actually did a video on that guy.
Yep.
So if you want to watch a little bit more about what that little gadget is, go to Wahagan's channel and you can see that actual video in action. That tool in action.
So
yeah, go for it. Same thing. You ready to share?
Yep, I hit share.
Okay, is that it?
So is it covering the screen?
Oh, we can see it. Yeah, it's pretty big.
Is that big enough?
Yes.
All right, so.
Yes, he's shooting RAW. You can actually see RAW right there. He's actually shooting RAW plus fine star, whatever, JPEGs.
Now, okay, here we go. Now, this is where you'll see the activity. Cormorant.
There's that eagle. And there's another one below it. And there's another one in front of it. There it goes. And this is his recording his EVF.
Yep.
In the stills mode. There he goes one more time.
And these guys were still 200 yards away, maybe?
It was far. It was really far. One thing I want you guys to understand, the behavior that they're exhibiting right now is they're actually fishing and they're eating while they're flying and going back for more. They're not going for the really big fish. They're going for the smaller. Eat, fly, eat, fly. That's what they're doing. They're just, you'll see them come back around once that one's done to the next one. There he goes, one more. Then go for it that time. So wherever he pointed the camera, you can see it recorded it all.
Yeah. I mean, this was 2.5 minutes, and you're running 20 frames per second. I was taking a lot of shots.
Right. So when people say, the Z9 autofocus is no good and this and that, don't believe it. They're lying. It's not true. You can see it in action right here. Especially, this is the firmware version 3.0, correct?
Right.
Yeah, there he goes. Going to give it a shot now. Go for it. There you go. So you have to understand their behavior. They work very similar to an airplane. When they lower their back, you'll see it actually ready to go straight up. There you go. It's ready to go down now. Watch. There you go.
See that? The one in the foreground did it too.
Yep. So, and this is nonstop, guys. It goes on for quite some time, and then they keep on moving down the river. Then
Yeah.
now they're moving down the river. You can see that.
Flintlock, I couldn't tell the difference. The 200 to 600 was running. It was running just fine.
Yeah, and I wish we had recorded it, Art, because it was so cold this time around. We wanted some other people there to actually try it, and I guarantee you that instructor probably already has a 200 to 600 in his bag right now. I guarantee you, because he was like, I would have never believed that this is going to work so good. I really have to look into this. And when he found out how much that adapter was, how much the lens was, he's like, it's a no-brainer. It's a steal for what it is. So great job to Sony for what they've done with that lens. You can't knock it. Optically, it's an outstanding lens too. No, thanks for sharing that. That's a great video.
Yeah.
All
Boy,
right.
the EVF is nice. And, even I went from a Z6 to the Z9, and the EVF is just, it was nice.
So my first photograph is actually one that's a comical one, and I'm gonna crack a joke on it. If it hurts your feelings, you probably want to do a checkup from the neck up, right? This is supposed to be fun, and it's not. So please don't get all pissy on me and leave all these. What's the word that's out there today? Toxic comments. Yeah, just be nice. Right? So you guys can see this, right? Are you able to see Lightroom?
Yep.
All right. So all of the specs are right here. This is on the A9 II, and this is all these shots are shot in RAW, but I did something this time. I shot the A9 II in crop mode. It's a 24 megapixel sensor in crop mode, which puts it at about 10 megapixels.
That's right.
I wanted to prove a point to all these people that are megapixel hungry that you can't do anything worthwhile at 10 megapixels or even 24 is not enough. Don't believe it. It's not true. All of these are shot raw at 10 megapixels. If you don't believe me, I can open up the filters right now and show it to you. This is the actual original file.
Yep.
And
yeah, Roy, I almost ordered that 200 to 600.
Yeah, you almost did. And so these are the tips because I've actually edited it now. So I'm going to go ahead and actually turn the filters on so we can pick the ones. So the one on the left with a joke, running joke, is the Canon R7, laughing at the non-existent Nikon competitor to it because we don't have a D500 replacement. So no DX for you. I was going to write no DX for you and put the names here, but I think some people would have taken offense. But that's just a joke, guys. Don't take it personally. Don't get all crazy. It's okay. He said, crop, no. Yeah, I wanted to actually prove a point that, cropping even on a 24 megapixel, if you know what you're doing and you have really good glass, you don't have to worry about it. You really don't have to worry about it at all.
We really lucked out with the weather. It was sunny all day. It was just absolutely gorgeous. So you had all the light in the world. I actually noticed, I've got to figure this out. The white of the eagle was kind of too bright.
Yeah.
And so I guess that's the white balance, right? So I've got to figure out how to tone that down.
So it's based on your metering, right? So that's one thing I do on the Sony cameras. I put it on the highlight metering. So it has a highlight metering. Canon uses something called highlight tone priority. When you put that in there, it doesn't clip the white. It forces it to stay within the bounds of it. Because if you blow out the highlights on a digital camera below anything above 2 stops, you can just kiss it goodbye. It's very hard to bring it back, the detail in it. So that's what you're seeing on the screen. So let me move on. You'll get an idea. These are all A9 II shots, by the way. This is Sony A9 II with a 200 to 600. This is a crop of a crop.
Mark, can you make them any bigger?
You mean like this?
Yeah, I don't know. There you go.
So you can see this is a crop of a crop. And that's at 100% after cropping it.
No lens for you.
No DX for you. There you are.
I mean, if you can master the seagulls, you can probably master any bird. Then
Yeah,
maybe we'll
getting
step up to
getting the
osprey.
eagles is easy. Yeah, shooting eagles is easy because so much bigger bird, right?
Right, and they're slower.
And
But
these little suckers are hard, man. You have to wait for that moment. And I just sat there and just kept doing it. And you remember that Indian guy that was there that got all blurry shots with the
yep,
D850? We're going to tell you that story in a second. he
he
was
was a
like, "What are you?"
student.
He was like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Shooting the gulls." Well, why do you want to shoot the gulls? I said, "It keeps you fresh, man, and
Yep.
it keeps you really in tune with what's going on because they're very hard to shoot." Here's the next one. I love shots like this, where it actually shows their surrounding. Just a beautiful pose, and be able to get that detail underneath. Um, and here comes sort of what you're after now. Here are your eagles coming out of the water. Keep in mind, these are 10 megapixel files, guys. I took a 24 megapixel sensor and I shot it in crop mode on purpose.
Yeah, that's true. Autofocus right on the water is tough.
Yeah, it is. But that A9 II is incredible, man. You can see here what it's doing to the edges here. This is rolling shutter effect on the A9 II. You can see it in action. I'll go back one. You can see it right here happening. So please don't fall for that. You won't get that happen on a stack sensor just because you paid extra for it. It can happen. It's okay. It doesn't ruin the image. It still looks
Yeah, it's
beautiful.
hard to notice though, right?
Yeah. So these kind of poses I like. I mean, it's almost like I'm coming for you, and those talons are out. This was an incredible moment. The fish is right here. This guy's ready to go for that snatch. And this fight kept on going for a little while. There's another one over the water. This is the Sony A9 II with the 200 to 600.
That's a great shot. Look at the light, because the light was coming right to left.
Yep, that's when we were right at about 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning, I
Yeah.
think. Let me look at the eye. It was actually 11:15 in the morning. It's got the date, time, everything in there. You can see how small I've made the file, 1900 by 1300. So guys, if you think that you can't get a good shot, it's really on you. And this was an incredible moment. I have the entire sequence, but I just wanted to give you sort of a preview. Yeah. More to come on this one. I haven't had the time to go through the editing. So the moment that a lot of people are waiting for is the Canon R7 files. Here they are. And I picked two that I really, really, really liked. You guys ready?
Do it.
These are two that you will really love. Look at this on the 800 f11. This
Wow,
is
that's awesome. The pose. I mean, I like to get a good pose. I mean, look at it. These flat wings are fully forward.
Look at the detail, guys. $899 lens. That's 800 millimeters. Yep. And I can walk around with it all day without breaking my back. And I used to chastise this lens when it first came out, but with those firmware updates, there is nothing that any other brand has that can touch it for the money. I would love to see Sony make a lens that's like $1,500, somewhere like that, 800 for their system. It would kill it, man, if they did that. And same thing with Nikon, if they did something like this. People will buy it. And here is the other one.
Yeah, he's turning towards you.
There's that one. So those are the ones I wanted to share.
And it doesn't get old. It doesn't get old. Like I said, I've been there many times. I invite friends just to go out and hang out. We make a morning of it. Yeah, it's good times. Yeah,
we call that down flap. That is correct. Art, you are a wealth of knowledge when it comes to bird and wildlife photography. And yes, you got all the lingo down, which is great. All right. So, what did you guys find that useful to be able to actually see it? The R7 gang. Well, I wish Scott Sessions was here because we want to actually show his stuff. Let me see where the heck he is. It's 9 o'clock.
Well, you can find Scott. He's also on Flickr, Scott Sessions, and I put a bunch of my shots out there, JRODPhotoArt,
Yep.
on my Flickr page. You'll see a bunch of them out there.
Hold on. Let me see if I can get a hold of Scott.
Thanks, Dave, for hanging out. We'll see you next time.
Yeah, see you in a bit, Dave. Thanks.
Doing a lot of typing, Flintlock. That's awesome.
Let me see if I can get Scott. It'll be great if you can join because you want to see his shots. Okay. If he doesn't join, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take his images and airdrop them. I'm loving this technology, man. See, I can drop it onto that iMac right now. There you go. There's one. I'm going to show you his images. This airdrop business is pretty cool, man. There's another one. So he shoots with the R7 as well.
He's got the 100 to 500 or 100 to 400?
100 to 500, correct.
100 to 500.
The RF lens, the new one.
The new one.
Oh, yeah, I'll show you some shots of his that look pretty cool. Yeah, he sent a good number of them. Let me see which one I like. I really like this one. This one's nice. Here. All right. Okay, they should be here now.
Yeah, Roy, real quick.
Oh, well, the D850 guy. Okay, let me tell you that story while these are actually being moved over here. That's funny. So there was a guy that was part of the workshop that those two guys were hosting. So I'll put this question up and then I'll answer it. So he was shooting, and then I gave him the R7 like 2 times, right, to try. So I'm not going to tell you what he said. James, what did he say when he actually picked up that R7?
Yeah, it was light, it was small. He aimed at some birds, and he couldn't believe the difference from an 850 and going to an R7 on how quickly it reacted and held focus. But
and
now,
then what about the R7 with that same instructor guy that owns the Z9 on the autofocusing? Do you remember what he said?
I don't think I heard that one.
Oh, okay. Did you go? Maybe you went to the car. But that other lady that popped it onto her camera and stuff was doing that. Remember that? We were doing all that.
Yeah.
He was like, how does it do that? I'm like, do what? And he's like, picks up the back of the bird, and then it like a little gremlin goes through the wings, and then all of a sudden finds the head, and then all of a sudden the eyeball is locked. I'm like, well, that's Canon. He's like, I wish my Nikon and my Sonys did that. I'm like, well, I'm waiting for Sony to do something like that. The A1 is a beautiful camera, but it don't do that.
Right.
It doesn't have deep learning AI like the A7R5. And we actually saw an A7R5 on the ground there. One of the ladies down by the actual dam had it. And if you haven't seen it, go look at the live stream from last week, and it's on there. She actually had it in hand already. She already paid for it, bought it, and she already got it. So apparently they're able to deliver the camera right away.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, granted, that guy was a beginner. That was a borrowed 850. I think it was the 200 to 500, and he was learning. Yeah. But for him to go from an 850 over to something like an R7, even when I used your R7, that thing was working. It was right on.
It's a hard camera to beat, man, for 1500. So, by the way, that is a DX camera. Where's yours, Nikon? Well, it's not important right now. Oh, sorry, I forgot.
We'll see, Amar. We'll see. Only time to tell. Let's speculate some more.
Hey, DX people, you don't matter. I wish if I said that at Conowingo Dam, I think they would probably pick me up and throw me in the water.
Yeah, you would have been wet.
They probably would would pick me up and throw me in the water.
Yeah.
Okay.
The D500 and the 200 to 500 is still an amazing setup for bird.
Yeah. And there were so many of them there.
And
So
people
many
buy
of
them on eBay all day long.
Yep. Yeah, I'm actually opening these up, and then I'll start to share Scott's work. Give me a second. All right. Let's go to share. And there we go. So I'll start with this guy.
Yep, bring it up.
Can you guys see this? It should pop up. That's Canon R7, 100 to 500. There you are. And I think this one actually had the 1.4x converter on it. So that puts you at 800, over 1,200 millimeters. So that's one. Let's share another one. Sorry, I have to do it one by one on the share.
Yeah, look at that. When you get those eyes looking at you, man, that's just beautiful.
So I have a lot of shots like that too. I didn't pick them, but we have thousands, and I'm sure you do too, James. But we tried to limit it to like 3, 4, maybe 5 at the most. So the live stream doesn't become like 10 days long.
Yeah, I know I shot over 3,000 pictures.
Yeah. It didn't take long. Look at this one.
Yeah, look at those colors.
And he had major advantage because he was on the rocks way down, right at the water level. So this stuff was like all happening right in front of his eye level where he was. We were actually further up. Okay, so that's another one. And then we had, I like this. Look at this one.
Oh, that's that pivot.
Yeah, that's right when it's about to take that dive. Straight down. And look at that light, man. Look at that beautiful light.
I mean, that's the top of the dam over there, right?
Yep, that is.
Yeah.
So he was like way down there to be able to get it. This is the morning light right around sunrise. Yeah, the juveniles have beautiful color. That's right, Hero. Here, let me put up your comment here. There you go. And then I think there's one more. That's Scott's work. Oh, this guy.
Yeah, look at that.
Wings straight down. It's just a beautiful shot. Nailed it. And yes, the eyeball is sharp. Eye autofocus works.
Well, it's a combination of everything, right? It's the lighting, the shutter speed, the panning. I mean, it all adds up.
It does. It doesn't take long. It doesn't take long. Yeah. And by the way, all of this stuff that you see, it doesn't take more than about probably 5, maybe 10 seconds, James, and it's all over. It happens and it's over. So if you're not on your game, you're not going to get a shot like a human being. Hey, let's redo this shot. Can you look over here, bend into the light? Like Arthur's here. This is how he describes it. It's too funny just listening to him talk. I wish he was actually on the phone. He's like, hey, turn here. Turn into the light a little bit. You can't do that with a bird, right? You deal with the light you got, and you make the most of what you got. And that's when it's full-on game.
Yep.
Do you understand light into positioning yourself to get the best shots out of that bird? That's Scott. What did he say? Oh, come over. Okay, so Scott will be over in 5 minutes. Okay. So having said that, here. This is a comment for you. If y'all have a 2x converter and the 8, 100 f11 plus the R7 2500 something. That is correct. It goes to f22 with a 2x. And the funny thing is, the R7 actually autofocuses at f22 at 2500 millimeters. Go figure.
It gets harder. It gets,
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's incredible, right?
the further out you go, the fewer shots you're going to get. I mean, especially
Well,
adding teleconverters. It's tough.
one thing I want to show you guys this is kind of important, right? Let me see if I can get this box up. Will it show me the box? Maybe if I take the lens cap off.
But I'll say that the 200 to 500 f mount with the 1.4 is what I used to use. But the 100 to 400 with the 1.4 is hands down better. And then go to the 2x, it's a little better. So they've
Sure.
definitely fixed a lot with the teleconverters.
Yep, it does. So on the R7 with the 800 f11 activated, which means pulled out, you can see this faint. You see the black lines here? It's
Yep.
all the way to here and here, and that's your focus area.
Yep.
Right? It's almost covering the full frame of this APS-C sensor. When you put this lens on a full frame body, it's literally like the centerpiece of it. It looks like that because the rest of the frame,
Yep.
the sensor is so big.
Yep.
Right? So if you have this lens, it really comes to life on a crop body. Now, when this lens came out, we didn't have an R7. We didn't have an RF crop body. And when they built this, and when I started to use that lens, I bought it before the R7 came out. I was stunned already. But it was stunning on what they did with it and how fast it is.
Wow.
By the way, this is aftermarket. So if you have this lens, you can order this from iShoot. Those guys, they're the only ones that make it. Canon, I don't think, makes a foot for it. I couldn't find it. So I put this one on in a Sarka Swiss. And it was like $30.
So,
Some people ask about this.
Robert's got a question. You want to put his question up? Robert?
Wait,
And
this one?
Yeah,
Which one?
so I went from a Z6 and the Nikon Z6, and that shoots up to about, 14 frames.
Mhm.
XQD cards and or a basic CF Express Type B. And it was almost sad. You hold that button down, it would black out, it would wait and go. But I mean, it was tough. I could only hold it a little bit. But now the Z9, I use two of the Delkin green power ones. They're higher, not the mid range, but they're just under the black, Delkin black. I have two 128s in there. And I've got to hold that thing at 20 frames per second, shooting RAW and JPEG. I've got to hold that thing for a while before I notice it's lagging. And you've got to have those fast cards. Even with the green cards, they were two 128s, B&H. I use those all the time. So I've rarely run into where the camera slows down.
Right.
Maybe when I'm shooting hummingbirds, but yeah, it's amazing. I was shocked to go from a Z6 to a Z9 is like, oh my God, look, it was amazing. Yep.
So one thing I want to point out to you guys, when we're talking about inherent resolution, when you take something like an R7, which is a 32 megapixel APS-C sensor, when you upscale it in full frame terms, when you find the center, of the sensor and all that, and you actually upscale it, it's equal to resolving as much as an 83 megapixel sensor in full frame. So that's one thing people don't understand, right? And once you understand that, this becomes a little freaking powerhouse.
Yeah.
You saw how much I cropped into that image. Let me show you something. This is going to be a serious eye opener for you. And we're going to point to the first one. And let me go ahead and actually share my screen. Scott just message. Okay, so he should be there shortly. Let me go ahead and share. Lightroom here. and here. Can you guys see this?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to open it up. You can see this, right?
Yep.
Can you see how much of that image is removed? I cropped it to what I wanted to do. Here, Scott. Hang on. Hey, man.
Hey, what's up?
How
Hey,
was
Scott.
dinner, man? Did you have dinner?
What's up, boys?
Did you go drinking or did you go shooting eagles?
No,
or birds?
my parents came home from Florida, so we went out to dinner. and stuff.
Yes, yes. Okay, that's good. That's good. At
How
least
you
you did
guys
something
doing,
with your parents. You're excused.
Oh no, yeah, it was a good excuse.
I
How
was
you
just
guys doing?
I was just showing them the powerhouse of what a powerhouse the R7 is.
Oh my God,
That's
yeah.
that's how much that image is right there, and that's where we ended up.
Oh, I got the full screen now. Okay.
And if you want to get a sense of it, this is the real actual image before I ran it through Topaz denoise. And you can see what the ISO is. This is the actual image, guys, right here. Did you see what happened when I went to 100%?
So that's the raw image, right?
That's the raw image, correct?
Yeah, it's awesome.
You see that?
And that's videoed from your screen too. That's not even.
Yeah. So what I want to show people is look at the frame, look at where the bird is. So I did this. I cropped it to this whole size, and then I cropped it some more to come to this as a final image. So when people tell me that megapixels don't matter, they do, bud. And especially in APS-C, you cannot do that on a Z5 or an R5 or any of those cameras, or even my Sony A7R4, to go from that to all of this to that.
Got that 800 millimeters.
Yep, you can see it right there, 800 f11, ISO 2000.
Yep.
No line. So this is real proof in front of you. So if you're still contemplating anything about the R7, stop wasting your time listening to these people that don't even shoot it.
It
Go
is.
out and do it. I mean, you saw Scott's shots. We already shared all your shots, man.
Y'all have to go back and watch that.
Yep.
What's that?
No, yeah, I'll definitely go back and watch that. Yeah, it's like, it's insane.
I want you to explain this shot to us, because I really want to know what happened here for you to get the shot, and what time of the day was it?
Yeah.
Explain this to us.
Oh yeah. So this was actually. Let me look on my picture right here. Let's see what time I took it. I took it at 7:41 a.m.
7:41 a.m. right at sunrise. Right?
I was with the other guy Scott and this guy Douglas, two really good photographers, and we were on the rocks, and this was happening to the left, right in front of the fisherman's platform. Like, I think if this gives you an idea, the people on the platform, they kind of got a butt shot.
Yeah.
It was in between the platform and probably where you guys were, but you guys were kind of behind me.
You were down below.
Further down the lot.
Yeah.
And it came from behind, and it came around the trees, like, you know how like the trees are kind of overhanging the park, the fisherman's pier, and it just banked and went straight down.
Awesome.
That was it.
That's a beautiful.
When you're looking at them and you're tracking them, you're like, all right, like, it's going down, and you wait for that like bank position, and it's like the best. Like, I love that. So I'm happy I got it.
This is without the teleconverter, I assume.
Oh yeah, 0. I'll tell you the settings right now. It was 7.1, obviously, because I got the 100 to 500. That's probably the only downside, but I mean, it didn't matter. I shot it at only 2000 and ISO 800.
Okay.
Hey, Roy, don't drop your camera.
Yeah, it's only got 4 screws in there, man. Didn't you see Long Rider's song? They forgot to put the 2
Drop
extra
my
screws
Z9.
on.
Oh God.
Yeah, he dropped the Z9. Hey, so Scott, you had one of your buddies there that had the 800 PF, right? He loved
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
The Nikon lens.
Yeah, Nikon, the Nikon
Yeah.
800. It actually, I found out it wasn't his. He was borrowing it.
Yep.
Okay.
He ordered the 600.
Okay.
Wow.
So he's gonna get this, and he actually met a guy there from PA, and he sold his old 600 to him.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so that's become like a Conowingo marketplace.
I mean, it's perfect. Like you buy it, and then you just demo. You get to use it right away. It's awesome.
That's right. The first camera mount I ever broke. I'm telling you, Roy, they don't make them like they used to, Roy.
That's how I would want to.
Just give them a hard time.
That's where I want to use my Prime when I get one.
Yeah, that's the right place to use it. Yeah. So, hey, James, should we share Bob's video?
Yeah, let's show that 800.
Let's show the Bob's video. All right,
Oh, so everybody was here that day. Bob.
you
Different
know Bob? You know Bob, the old guy? Bob?
Maybe if I saw a picture, that's the only.
You'll
one.
see a video.
So this guy, when James and I were taking our walk and heading down to where the old, the train tracks are. So we went down that way, and there was a guy standing there, and we're looking at that lens, and I'm like, that don't look like a 600, dude. What is that? And then he's like, that's the new 800. I'm like, is that the PF? He goes, yep. So then we got his actual statement because he came out and said something to us. I'm like, hold on. I pulled out my phone. I said, would you mind saying that actually like on film? I mean, like if I were to record you? He's like, what are you going to do with it? I'm like, well, I'm going to put it on my YouTube channel because I want people to hear it. It's freaking hilarious what he said. So, and James was actually having a conversation with him. So I don't want to give it away. Let's roll the video and watch it.
Roll the video.
Where's Bob? What does Bob look like? I think this is Bob. Yeah, maybe. Hold on, let me just double check it. Oh, this is Bob? Yeah, that's Bob. All right, Bob video. Here it is. You're going to love this. All right, you guys ready?
Do it.
All right.
Go ahead. So you're the first people here that's got the 800 PF at the Conowingo Dam. So what would you say?
If it wasn't for Sony, we'd all still be shooting shit.
Sony's forcing the competition to get in the game and put out the gear.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, Nikon has knocked it out of the park with the long lenses. I mean,
Really.
nobody's got an 800 6.3 at $6,500. You can't, and it's on par with the 600.
That's pretty good right there.
Yep, that's the new 800 6.3 sitting there. Did you really?
And it worked pretty good.
I'll
Just
tell you,
too much lens.
800 and then way out there, yeah.
1100.
11. That's
awesome.
nuts. Fantastic.
That is awesome.
Oh, so he's got an APS-C body.
Say hi.
Who are you?
Teleconverter.
Hey, Bob, how you
You
doing?
put
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah,
Yeah, he put a teleconverter on it.
got it.
So,
he was using a Z9.
Okay.
yeah.
There
What
was
did
a
he
lot
say?
of people with Nikons there.
Yeah.
Around me, at least where I was.
I
I don't know if that gets anybody excited, but
It was everything. They had everything there.
I'm dying looking at Robert's comment. Robert, you've been on my channel for a while. I don't recognize the name, but yeah, I mean that 5DSR with the 180 macro, what I created there, I think it raised a lot of suspicion in people's minds about what you could do with a high megapixel camera if you knew what you were doing. I actually shot birds with it, James. Can you believe that?
Wow.
With a macro lens, and it was freaking
God.
razor sharp. And everyone loved that video, so it's funny that you remember that. And I don't know if I have excellent skills or not. I just keep on working on my skills. Like I told you, like when there were no eagles, we were shooting goals.
Yeah.
right? So if there's no E, we shoot the goals. When the E goals come out, we shoot them. Whatever it is, we keep doing. So you don't just sit around, waste time. We talked. We did have a lot of fun. But one thing I do want to go out there and say, to everyone that's watching here and that has stayed on the stream for a little while now, regardless of your brand, right? Someone was there with the A6000, the Sony A6000, one of the first
Wow.
APS-C, the little one. And
Yeah.
guess what he had? Guess what he had on there, Scott? He had the 200 to 600 mounted on that, like a Game Boy console on the back of it. He was holding on to it. It was just too funny.
Whoa. Yeah, that's a small camera, right? I mean,
Yeah,
It's light.
that thing's tiny.
yeah. But he was using it. He was getting great results. He was having fun. So regardless of what people were shooting, we all lived in harmony there. And I just want to pass one message along. And I know, James, you wanted to chime into to some of this now that Scott's here too. There is no need for hostility. There's no need for being toxic. It's a brand. Nikon, Canon, Sony, none of us, I don't care how much you believe that you love the brand, you're not on their payroll, right?
Yeah.
You're not speaking on their behalf. And frankly, if someone else likes another brand or says something about a brand or a population of that brand, how does that bother you, right? It shouldn't, right? It's all
No.
good. And, I wanted to get in here and actually share something that Nick Page, how many people know here who Nick Page is? Anyone in the comments know who Nick Page is? No one? Everyone? Do you know who he is? Scott? Nick Page?
It sounds familiar, but
Okay. Oh, look, we got people from Facebook. I had my M6 Mark II adapted to the 70 to 200, and it was ridiculous. Yeah, it is. It is a ridiculous lens, especially with that camera. 14 frames per second. Okay, so a lot of people know who Nick Page is. Okay, good. I'm going to actually share an email from him. And I don't know how many people know what's going on in the world of Nick Page. But I'm not going to actually share it on the screen. I'm actually probably going to just read it. Let me set the stage. So, James, do you want to say something about sort of this whole narrative about going after people, forcing them to take videos? I was forced to take down 2 videos because someone didn't like my opinion about something that someone else said. It almost sounds like high school games. We should be able to really be able to have our own opinion. And I'm going to give you an example, right? A very, very simple example. And that is, if a car is black to me, and if it's blue to you, I can never make you believe it's black. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that you're right, I'm wrong, and I'm right, you're wrong. It's just we see things differently. It's okay, right? And like they say, opinions are like armpits. Everyone has one, they all stink, right? So use some deodorant, man up, woman up, and move forward. If you don't like what I'm saying, don't watch my videos. You have millions of channels to go to. Why do you keep coming back to it, right? So, James, I know you wanted to chime in here a little bit on this topic, and then I'll actually show you, or actually read you Nick Page's email and set up sort of what happened there.
Yeah, I mean, it's YouTube is the new newspaper, right? So people use YouTube to communicate, and they convey their feelings, their thoughts and their beliefs, and they speculate. And I keep toxicity. It's easy to say things behind a keyboard and no one knows who you are. And that's something that's, I guess what I'm trying to say is that stuff lives and breathes in YouTube, but that shows millions of people quickly. But in the reality, when you go out to places, nobody's arguing about cameras this and camera that.
And I walked that entire thing with,
right.
You saw that on the live stream, and on the way back when I shut that live stream off and whatnot, I asked people, do you know this person, for example? Like, oh, this guy is like a Nikon icon, right? Type of thing. Do you know this person? No, who's that?
Right.
And this is someone standing there with a $25,000 setup from that brand Nikon.
Right.
That doesn't even know the guy from anywhere. Hey, who's that? Is he like here? Is that someone here? I'm like, no. So this YouTube bubble that we live in, get out of it, because the world outside of it, it looks very different.
Right.
Very different. Do you agree, Scott?
Oh yeah, and I'm not. And you know this. You both know this. I mean, I haven't been doing this long, but I mean, like, you just have to figure it out by yourself and
Yeah.
have no other distractions.
Yeah.
And
Not,
don't
you know,
hate.
what you see through the camera and what you're getting with your camera.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. Like anybody's opinion on a camera or anything, because they could not know what they're doing with that camera.
That's right. That's
Like,
it. And a lot of them don't.
So
They become brand ambassadors and things like that. Half of the times, they usually give you the wrong guidance. And you can't correct them all. But when you dismiss a particular population, like the DX population, I'm sorry, but half of the people shooting at a place like this, where you got almost $5 to $10 million worth of just lenses, are shooting DX bodies. And you mean to tell me it's not important? You're out of your mind. You know, it's not all about full frame, and we got to get away from that mindset. We have to embrace all types of cameras, all types of people, so we can have an inclusive photography community rather than an exclusive type of thing. If you want to do an exclusive type of thing, go right ahead and do it. But you're also not being fair to the folks that really could contribute immensely, just because they might not want to spend $20,000 on the setup, and they want the same reach and almost the same output out of this for $2,300. I mean, dude, $2,300. I got a 1280 millimeters right here and a 32 megapixel sensor. Find me another brand that has this.
Yep.
And I can walk around like this, like a joke with this thing all day long. No one has it. No one.
30 frames, unbelievable
30 frames,
autofocus.
30 frames per second, yeah.
The autofocus is insane.
There you go.
It's
So-
insane.
Yeah, so Ed, oh my God, look at who's in here. This man is an incredible, incredible guy. So he's actually rubbing it in today, Edgard. I'll let you have your day, because I stand corrected on this live stream, because I used to ridicule this the f11 lens. I beat up Canon so bad. It's like, what are you thinking? WTF and all that, you know? It's like, what are you thinking? But until they came out with that R7 and the firmware version 2 of that R7, it was just there in the bag. It used to hang around. But man, after that R7 firmware version 2 came out, that lens completely changed how it works. And it's incredible. And you saw the shots today from it. So
I want to talk to you about that firmware.
you haven't done it?
I did the first one.
Oh, so you need to do the next one, because the next one's good stuff.
because I saw what changes they were doing, and it didn't. They may have not. They probably didn't list the changes you might.
They don't, because they always tell you and improves camera stability. So they don't tell you, but
Oh my
seriously, I
God.
can tell you,
Oh,
after that, it's a big difference. I think try it and see. You know,
I don't
if
know how it can get better, but sign me up. I mean,
you should download and do it. But nonetheless, coming back to Nick Page. Nick Page, I think James, he used to shoot Sony. He does workshops and all kinds of things all throughout the world, right? So this guy's really known. I mean, some of his workshops are like $4,000, $5,000 a pop, right? So he's really credible. He's not like a fly-by-night, trying to just, make money. A lot of people think, you name drop, famous YouTubers to get views. Honestly, between like James and I, we do extremely well, in our careers. I can name drop all I want, and these views really don't do anything for me. It's really building this community. Yeah, if it becomes a big thing and it goes to 100, 200,000 subscribers, sure, that's great. If it's going to replace my pretty, sizable six-figure income, yeah, then I'll definitely be worried about, whose name I actually pop into my video, right? Until then, this is only serving you guys and all of the communities that I have, especially on Facebook and all these things. So a lot of things will change in 2023. Coming back to Nick Page, he uses Sony. he decided to go to, I think, the Canon R5 or something. I don't even know. It's one of those cameras he wanted to go to. He wanted to go to something different. People gave him so much hate for doing that. The guy actually took down his video, similar to like I was asked to take down the videos because the Nikon people just couldn't handle the fact that they're actually toxic, right? I mean, you can see it. And then when I made that last video after taking it down, read the comments from each and every one of you supporting this channel into saying, put it back up, right? Because you can't fall prey to that. I truly believe in keeping the community together, and I did it for a dear friend and that friendship, and to try to just keep the community in one tank rather than split it up. But the hate part and the toxic, how toxic it is, that's real. So it's actually spreading to even big YouTubers now. So I'm going to read his email. So I sent him an email because this all happened around the same time I took down my video. So I sent him an email that says, hey, my name is Amar. Proud of your work. I was forced last week to take down a few videos from the Nikon camp calling out bogus narratives, right? The community is getting very hostile. They did the same to Bayou Josh, right? That went from, I think, he went from Nikon to Sony, I think. Is that right? Did he used to shoot Nikon, J-Rod?
Yeah, he did, but he wanted a 600 lens, so he could get it from Sony. So he just he switched over only because of availability, not because of what it couldn't do.
Exactly.
But that went crazy too.
Yeah. So he no longer makes videos. So I hope all these people that are doing these things, continue to support them, because eventually all of the good people that are really making the difference in the community are going to one by one leave the scene, right? So, and then it says, let me know, if you want to connect, and I gave him my number. He emails back. He says, hey, Amar, and I want you guys to really actually listen to this message and play it back 100 times in your ears. This is coming from someone that almost has, I don't even know how many, over 100 some odd thousand, subscribers. He writes, hey, Amar, I really appreciate you taking the time to send an email. The support helps counterbalance some of the negativity that comes from anything relating to gear. In small quantities, negative comments are easy to ignore, but after years, they have a cumulative effect. It erodes the drive and motivation for sharing ideas and knowledge. I know exactly what he's talking about. It leaves me feeling like I'm talking to an audience that doesn't want to be talked to. I know intellectually that is not true. I am flooded with support from messages and emails like your own, but that lingering feeling of not being wanted is still always lurking in the background. These kind of emails make the difference. Thank you for that. Keep up the good work. The key words are, but that lingering feeling of not being wanted lurks in the background, or still there in the background.
Wow, it's good stuff, Amar. Hey, how about one set of pictures, and then it's getting kind of late for me.
Yep, absolutely. Which ones did you want to share some?
Yep.
Yep, go for it.
I hit share because Flintlock wants more pictures.
There you go. And then I got one of Flintlock that I wanted to share. So Flint, Art, don't leave yet.
So here's a quick series. Not the best focused, I don't think, but it's tough. Like I said, these guys are moving fast. Hold on a second. Here we go. You can see this guy had his lunch. Look at that.
Oh, wow. Dropped it.
He's like, no.
Gotta go get another one.
And I'm sure you guys saw this. You probably got pictures of it too.
Yep.
I mean,
So
this was all day, right? This was all day.
I'll give you guys an advice.
That was nuts when they went crazy for like an hour straight.
Right.
So you guys should, I'll give you some advice, and you want to probably take it any which way you like. So both James, you and Scott, when you're posting these pictures, eagle shots are not easy to get, right? And a lot of people are not willing to go through the trouble to get them. So when you do these things, if you're putting a watermark on your images, put them very close to the eagle itself, because there are a lot of people that will steal your stuff just to get that shot.
Oh,
Because they don't want to go through the work. So all I can
Right.
tell you is when you're doing that, put it out there. It sucks. I mean, I had someone actually take few of mine that I shot with the 5D SR out there last year when I was out there. And I didn't even know they took it, but luckily I had, the metadata embedded into it when I did the export from Lightroom, and they were able to pick it up. So if I didn't have that, someone could have definitely used it and actually profited from it. So just make sure your watermarks are there, and they're actually very close to the subject, so they can't take it.
A lot of people are doing that for video because video is so big now on social media, and like people are sharing so many bird and eagle
They just take
videos.
each other's video. Yeah.
Like Mark Smith, he changed his thing. He put his name like on the bird almost.
Yeah.
In, like all of his videos now.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a free fall.
The pictures are tough. It's like I wanted to when I first started, but I mean you can delete everything nowadays. But
So Mario, doing a time check here. I don't know how much longer you want to go. I think we've covered a lot.
I think we're almost done. So we're gonna wrap up in 1 second. Art, this shot is for you. He sent me this, and I want to actually share this with you guys because it's an awesome shot. Can you guys see this?
Okay, I didn't see that guy at the dam.
Yeah, he wasn't there.
One hawk all the way to the left, but it was by the pier. It was far, but I don't know if that might have been the same one.
You want to share, Art, what you do here, man? Is that the 61 megapixel pretty crappy Sony camera with no autofocusing? Is that the same one? He's probably going to start typing.
I got that with my old Kodak camera.
Did you? What'd you do? Put it up on a pole and shoot?
Yeah. Well, actually, I put it on a timer and I threw it up there.
It's on the pole. Oh, that's the one. Yeah, that's one.
That's a nice shot.
So that's a A7R4 Sony with the 200.
Right at you.
Yep. That's a beautiful shot. Beautifully done. And he shoots everything in the crop mode, so it's 26 megapixel when it's cropped. Okay, so with that, I will stop sharing, and let's go with the sort of the closing of what we did today here. I mean, I know it's an hour, just a little over an hour and a half, and I wanted to wrap it up in an hour. So one last piece of advice. If you really feel like you have to leave a comment and you sort of are tempted to write something that you probably will regret later, I recommend this book. Pick it up and read it. Right? It's called Taming the Tiger Within. Read this book 100 times if you have to. And every time you will read it, you will get a different perspective. Because I've read it 3 times now already.
Cool.
In just the last 1 month. Read it again and again and again. And it will definitely help you. So with that, we have JROD James Roddy from JRODPhotoArt. I always get it backwards. I'm sorry. Man. So this is actually being streamed on his channel as well right now. And then we also have Scott Sessions. Scott actually drove down from New York. We really love you, man. And we really appreciate
you guys are awesome.
Yeah, and
really good guys.
It's not a joke to have you drive all that way. You check in the night before. And this dude is out there like 6 a.m, man. No matter how cold, what's going on, he's there. He doesn't give up. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. He's a big Under Armour fan, right?
Yeah.
He's
and
like
this
Under
guy,
Armour.
and I call Amar, and he's like, "Oh man, I gotta turn around. I gotta get you some extra gloves or whatever." I'm
because
like,
you told me the night before, so I'm
like,
already
dude,
on
you
the
gotta
highway,
be
and I'm sitting there thinking, shit, he doesn't have gloves.
All right. Hopefully, you don't get any bad comments from this, but I'm from New York. If Amar was from New York, he wouldn't be turning around and driving back the hell home to do that. Right?
That's probably true.
I'm telling you that right now. Like when I go there, it's like everybody. I mean, of course, everybody's not nice, but most of the people, the majority, everybody is so nice there. It's just like it's a win-win. Like you get in the Eagles and you're hanging out with great people that enjoy the same sickness as you do.
Yep, and James, if you don't want to tame that tiger, you're perfectly cool. Not James, it's Jeff. Jeff is Long Rider's name. We really appreciate you staying, but this one's funny. You're gonna love this. We killed Max with kindness, so he broke his lead pipe before he could use it. So Max, you're in the club. No more hate. Hate's out the window. You can just get rid of the lead pipe, and we can all move past this and support people like Nick Page and all the other people that are out there that are actually being bullied on YouTube, because that has no place in this community. And let's just take this forward into a positive direction. So with that, James, I'm going to turn it over to you to talk about briefly your channel, what you're looking to do. We did talk about it in the beginning. And what can that video that you showed with that EVF,
Yeah.
I am pretty sure all these people that are here, like, Back on the Bay and all these other people that are Nikon folks, I don't know if Back on the Bay is, but many of them are. Maybe they would probably want to come to your channel and watch more videos of that if you have more content on that. I think you do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll leave it up to you. Go ahead.
I'm going to go ahead. I'll do a live stream and/or post separate videos of. I'm going to try to dump it all on there.
Okay.
I've got other EVFs with no eagles, with other things, and I might do a live stream and walk it through. I've got iPhone pics and kind of do the whole thing again. Maybe it'll be my first one doing with split screen and just go through all the data.
Awesome.
And maybe do separate smaller ones, but I'll get it out there.
That would be really awesome, and I'm excited to see it. So Scott, how can people find you?
I'm on Instagram, Scott Sessions Photo. I'm on Facebook. I post my pictures in a bunch of Facebook groups.
Yep.
Vero and Flickr. I'm trying to scatter.
How is Vero working for you? Because I saw
Vero-
some of your work on there.
Vero is great because everybody you follow, that's all you see. So
okay.
if you're following all wildlife people, that's all you're seeing. You're not seeing ads. I hope they keep it that way.
That's awesome. I need
Who
to
knows
try
what kind of paid things they're going to be getting in the future, but there's no ads. It's just all what you want to see. So I do like it. And it doesn't mess with the resolution.
You broke your A77, so that's a Sony. I don't remember if that's full frame or if that's APS-C, but is that the Sony A77? Is that camera? I guess he's using an iPhone. Well, what are you going to get next? Back on the Bay. He did say his name was Mark. I think his name was Mark.
Yeah, nothing wrong with crop sensor. I mean, it's different. It doesn't mean it's not as good or better.
Those Sony DSLRs were pretty good, man. I love the A99 too, man. If they ever made that again, with an E mount or something like that, I would buy it in a heartbeat. Because that was an incredible machine. So Mark, if you need help with the camera things, email me and let me know. If you need me to send you one that you can actually use for some time, till something comes back, we can figure something out. I don't have an A mount camera, but never know. We can talk about it. And my email ID is here. It actually was showing. I just turned it off. I need to have someone else manning this thing. Okay, so the Sony RX100 that goes 600 millimeters is quite cool. Yes, Long Rider has one as well. So that those cameras are incredible because they have a 600 millimeter Zeiss lens in them. So guys, I know we can probably talk for another couple of days nonstop, but
some of us have to work.
We're going to call it a night. And yes, the Fuji X-T5 is a good offering there, Mark. Definitely check it out. I've been eyeing it. It looks like a great deal for the money, especially if you want to go into that glass and buy into the system. You should be good. So with that, You guys all know how to find me. You guys also know what the channel is standing for. We finished 2023 planning for 247 Media Group. A lot of things will change in 2023. You guys have seen that we've been doing a live stream every single week. For you. How many months has it been now, James? It's been good since the summer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've been at it quite a bit. So that's great. It's actually growing, but we don't want to just have it just for the heck of it. We want to be able to show you some things on what you can produce with all of these cameras, because buying cameras is one thing, using them is a whole different ballgame, and producing beautiful images from it. And Scott, you're definitely an inspiration from going from zero to 30 years in experience, literally in what, 2 years?
Thank
Or
you. I
1
appreciate
year?
that.
How long?
I started photography last summer, but bird photography last winter.
Can you believe that? Do you believe that, James?
And I'm just like, I'm totally hooked on it for sure. I'm totally hooked. I am so hooked on it. It's so fun.
Well, good for you. Don't let it go.
And I met a lot of great people doing it. You guys are awesome, and thanks for having me.
You're awesome too, and we're glad to have you and part of the community. And thank you again for. He's almost like a moderator on my R7 group. There's like so many people in there. It's just some of that work is incredible, right? On what people are shooting with that camera.
Yeah, I actually have to go back. I have to go back on there.
Yeah.
Check it out. That group looks like it's doing awesome.
It is, and it's all people that really shoot their camera. So it's going to be exciting. All right, guys.
Well, I'm going to try to make it down there maybe one more time before spring. So
I think we're going to go.
Yep.
I think, James, we should plan like mid January. Because mid January, I think after that, between mid January and what is it, like March, is really like buzzing, right? That's the buzzing time.
What I'm hearing. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lull actually, February, March, and then April sometimes it picks up.
Yeah.
Okay.
But,
yep.
Like I said, I've been pretty much every month, even in February. But like I said, I've never not seen eagles there. But there's always.
So we did November and December. So we went this past weekend, but we also went 2 weekends prior to that. So we were there twice already, all three of us. So, did we ever? Oh, it was on that previous live stream. That picture of the three of us on there.
Yeah.
And that was on the previous.
James was like, boom, and I was like, oh, all right. And he was like, 2 minutes later, it's on my Facebook. I don't care.
Guys, you're watching us.
I have that picture. It's a great picture.
We had a lot of fun. And next time, Scott, we have to take you to lunch with us. Every time we've ended up going to lunch, we have to go with you.
If you're going to do lunch, do it. Well, actually, you can't do lunch because if I'm there,
you're there.
These guys leave. And I'm like, dude, it was just buzzing. I'm not moving.
He called me. He's like,
you guys can go have lunch. All right,
we'll bring lunch.
I don't have the luxury to make it there in like 45 minutes if I want to every week. All right.
No, it takes us a good bit. It's about 80 miles per mile.
But how about dinner?
Maybe we can do that. Maybe we can do that one time and stay the whole day.
That'd be awesome.
Plan it. Yeah. Well, again, thank you again for joining. It was a great pleasure to actually do this, and I wanted to share this with everyone so they can actually see it start to finish, all the cool things that we did, videos that we did, people that we met, and thank you again, James, for really hanging in there. I know you have a lot going on, and I have a lot going on from a family perspective as well, and I know, Scott, your parents are in, so getting ready for the holidays. If nothing else, each and every one of you have a beautiful holiday, but we should have at least 1 or 2 more live streams before the year is out. So, you guys, you want to add anything before we head out?
No, just thank you, and Amar, your videos are great. And,
thank you.
Thanks for having me on here.
Oh, absolutely. It's a pleasure to have you. Thank you, and thank you again, James.
Yep. Good night.
You guys have a great evening. Stay blessed. Talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye.